Derek, do you ever let yourself drift back to that Game 7? Some people call it one of the best wins of Laker history.
No, probably not at this time of the season. I mean, you know, over the off season you do, maybe earlier in the regular season you do, but you know, this far into another season, you know, it's hard to you know, reflect too much on, you know, things from the past. But you know, obviously because of the matchup tomorrow, then, you know, certain thoughts obviously about playing against them in the finals last year come back into your mind.
Significant difference from last year in the finals to what you've seen on tape this year?
In regards to their team?
Yes.
They have a guy named Shaq on their team now. And, you know, I mean, Kendrick Perkins is back in their lineup now after being out, you know, a considerable part of the regular season. But, you know, by and large, you know, you're going to see the Boston Celtics when you play the Boston Celtics. You know, they're going to play hard, they're going to defend, they're going to help each other, they're going to, you know, share the ball on offense, and very rarely are they going to beat themselves. You have to beat them in order to win. So, you know, that'll be our task tomorrow.
I know he's coming back in a lot of different uniforms, but is it a little unusual to see Shaq in the Celtics uniform?
At first it was, to be honest, you know, when he first signed, but when I really thought back on it, you know, the years that we were all here together, you know, the Celtics mystique wasn't, you know, what it has become again in recent years or what it was, you know, before in the 80s. So I don't know if, you know, Shaq was ever in a place, or any of us at that time when we were together, were ever in a place where we felt so negatively towards the Celtics, because we, you know, we basically played them once every 9 months, and you know, that was the extent of the rivalry.
Derek, you said you're not reflecting too much on the title run last year, obviously, but the way you guys won that series, particularly in Game 7, is there any like teachable moments you take away from it? First, how you guys went about winning that final game?
I mean, yeah, but it you know, playing them tomorrow doesn't bring up anything extra than, you know, the things we've been talking about so far this season in terms of, you know, accomplishing our goals, and that starting on the defensive end, and, you know, rebounding the basketball, and certain things that we start every training camp focusing on. And so, you know, in that game, you know, we were able to do those things and, you know, win an 80-point game basically. But, you know, we don't go back and forth, you know, to that game or that time and try and overuse, you know, those examples to teach now. You know, there are a lot of good and bad examples that we can pick from this season to have teaching moments.
There's 2.5-hour practice day.
Yeah, it's a little long, right? No, we had a lot of things to cover. You know, we normally, you know, like to cover good and bad things from previous game, you know, before moving on to our next game or next opponent. And because we were so bad last night, it took us a lot longer to get through the things we needed to cover from previously. So that was what really factored into what took so long to get through today.
Fish, with that, rebounding will be the key tomorrow. Was it effort or was it technique last night, giving up those 15 offensive rebounds?
I'd say a little bit of both. You know, at this level, it's mostly effort. You know, I mean, if you try to be overly technical in terms of boxing out, they're going to already dunk it on your head. So, you know, I don't envy big guys that have to try to, you know, keep guys away from the offensive backboard. But, you know, it comes down to effort. Technique more so applies to your team defense, you know, and not so much boxing out, but being in the right rotations and in the right spots defensively, so that you kind of have that arc, you know, covered with your 3 front court players and not allowing them to get inside position.
What
would you say you guys are right now?
I mean, we're not in as bad a spot as it seems, you know, but because of, you know, the expectations levels that we've set for ourselves and the accountability that we've placed on ourselves, it just doesn't feel great, you know. But, I mean, to be 33-14, you know, and trying to accomplish, you know, what we've set out to accomplish that, you know, hasn't been done in recent memory. You know, we're not in that bad of a spot, but because of how good we know we can be, how good other people feel that we can be, you know, we're harder on ourselves at times than maybe even we should be. But that comes with being a champion. You know, you're never comfortable. You never feel good about where you are, even when sometimes you're not that bad off.